Alright, Sunday morning, and we're going to prime those parts today. The fenders and the seat pan, so we can get that seat pan shipped out to the upholsterer and continue on with the frame. But James Freddy's suggested that I pick up a cheap car cover for this thing and not just use the plastic, and I'm sure Matt Slow SRT probably agreed and maybe even suggested that or had some saying in that. But anyway, I thought it was a good idea, because I'm sitting here with the welder right up against it, and it's easy to, drop an air hose and let it go flopping over or anything. So at least with a car cover, it'll be a little bit of protection. So anyway, I thought this was kind of interesting here. It's a lot of companies kind of over market their products, but these guys, are kind of modest. They normally, when you think of some kind of star rating, it's like 5-star, 5-star hotel or whatever, and you think of it being a gold service or gold star, and these guys went with a bronze 3-star. So they're basically saying, this is a basic cover and it's not very good, and that's why it's $26. And if you notice right here also, it's semi-custom. All right, enough goofing around. We got to bleed the brake lines. I got to reconnect the new brake line that we made, and we got to bleed the brake lines on this, and we'll drop it down and back it out. We were going to prime outside, and it's going to be in the 70s here today. And considering that I'm originally from Alabama, we have a tendency to want to paint stuff outside because that's just kind of how we do things. And but it's a little bit on the windy side, so we will back the car out of the garage, shut the garage door, and paint and prime on the inside. In order to do that, we got to hook the brakes back up, bleed the brake lines, and so that's what we're going to do. We'll do a little walk around the car. She's been sitting for a while. Got it smoked up in here, cranking it up. I don't know if the turbo seals are leaking or what, but it's got a little smoke going on about it. Anyway, the sun's not out very good. And you guys have seen this thing a million times, but we'll show you again. Alright, well, we ready to spray some primer here. We've got the 2 fenders and the Springer front end and the seat pan ready to go. We're going to epoxy prime those and then put the Featherfill on it. I want to take a minute to show you something right here. And this is Omni MP170 epoxy primer. If you look at the tech sheet on this, it says it calls for a 30-minute induction time. And I don't know what the deal is, but Pete and Darren And then most recently, James Freddy's pointed this out, and I've pointed it out a few times every time I use it. In fact, I'll make a point about it, but I don't know, some people just don't get it, and it's getting really annoying. It's really starting to piss me off that people don't get this induction time thing. You got to let this stuff knead together. 30 minutes. It's got to set up before you start spraying it. So remember that. Alright, well, we got the epoxy primer down, and as you can see, the dents and all show up, and you can see the heavy pitting from the rust. So we knew we were going to have to do some body work on these things, and I did not want to do body work on bare metal for the most part, especially where the rusted areas were. So there was that one area we welded up that we body worked, but it was good metal around it. So we've got epoxy primer down. We're going to put the Featherfill on top of that. And first time I've used it, I've used the slick sand before, and this is not as thick as I remember the slick sand being. You know, you could basically get a paint stick would almost stand up in that stuff. So it might be a little bit thinner. We'll see. It comes with the MEK hardener, and this stuff gives you 4 different intervals that you can put it in there at. So there's 32 ounces in a quart. We're going to use 8 ounces and put one section of the hardener in there, and going to reduce it too a little bit with acetone just to try to get it to go on smoother. I know probably some of the guys in here suggest not to reduce it, but what the heck. Alright, we'll come back and show you when we get ready to spray it. Alright, got it all wrapped up. a little something sputtering in the gun there. I probably could hear it on the video, I'm not sure, but I don't know if it was not clean good or what, but anyway, it got it on there. Got it sprayed out. So I sprayed the back sides of the fenders because, not that I'm looking to get those perfectly smooth or anything, but the epoxy under there will have to be scuffed for paint, and scuffing epoxy is really a pain, and scuffing this stuff, you know, sanding it to paint is pretty easy. So just put a quick light coat on the bottom side just so I don't have to scuff the epoxy, get all that gummy stuff. So, alright, that's alright.